Hi, my name is Ehsan, and in some videos I'm going to give you some information regarding how you can use Forecast in order to schedule your team across different projects. Forecast is a web-based scheduling tool. It means that wherever you are, if you have the access to the internet, you can use any web browser and log into your account by the username and password, and start to schedule your team across different projects and analyze your company's time. So first we are going to see how we can create and edit assignments for our teammates in the projects in Forecast. And later we are going to see how we can filter the schedule and analyze your team's time. And at the end, we are going to see how to connect the Forecast to Harvest and use the integration. After you log into your account, this is the page you can see. As you can see, it is a kind of calendar view based on projects and the team. So now you cannot see anything because this is a kind of blank account. But when we add some projects or we import them from Harvest account, you will see some projects present, and in the team view you will see some team members and the data related to them, and it is totally ready to schedule your team across different projects, and after that analyzing your company's time. Okay, for now we are going back to the projects view of the schedule section. Okay, now in the projects view of the schedule section, we are going to define our new project in Forecast. And by defining our new project and adding our new teammates, we have the possibility to assign them for different projects. And in this section, we can see which teammate is working on which project at what time. Okay, for making our new project, we have to click on this green box, and again I'm going to use sample names to define our projects. So for the name of the project, I'm going to give project B, and for the client I'm going to add a new client as a client B. Regarding to the project code, as you can see, it is optional, but as we have seen already in Harvest, it can help us when we want to filter the projects by this code and find the data easier. So I'm going to give the project code as a sample 02. And the next thing is the color label. This color label can be different for each project, or you can differentiate it by the project in progress or finished projects or other things. So it is totally up to you that what kind of arrangement you want to use for these different colors. So let's say I want to have my color label as orange, and if I want to differentiate my project and make it easier to filter, I can add some project tags. In the project tag section, you can add the information like the project owner, the project state, the project type, the project phase. So again, it's up to you how many of them you want to add, and even none of them. So it depends on you again. I will only add some of the information like Italy, for example, and Turin, and plant B, for example. That's enough for my project tags. And here in the notes section, again, it's optional and depends on you what you want to add. But it can be some very important information based on the details on the project. So here, for example, I'm going to write quality improvement study product B, and I will save the project. So as you can see here, the project I defined is now present here, and we can see some of the information we added, like the project note, and we have some possible actions to take, like to edit the project and delete it or other things. And here I'm going to start assigning the new persons in the project. So if you are working on the project yourself, you can add yourself, like I'm going to do. So after you assign the new person to the project, you can start giving the information related to his assignment. So it is possible to say how many hours a day this person is working on this project, and from which day until which day, and total hours he is going to spend totally on this project will be calculated here. And I can add some optional notes, and I can say if this activity is repeated weekly or not, and I can save the assignment. I prefer to save it as it is now, because you will see that it is much easier to edit it by other means later. So I will just save the assignment. So as you can see, the first assignment is added to my calendar view of the project B, and the team member Ehsan Dasani, and the hours per day is defined here. So as I told you before, it is very easy to edit these assignments. For example, if I want to edit the hours per day I'm working here, I can say I only work 4 hours a day, and I only have to click on the update. Regarding the days that this person is going to work, we can edit it very easily by clicking and dragging on the borders of this assignment. Like if I want to say he's working from Monday to Friday, I only have to click and drag the border till the Friday, which is 8th of May. By doing this kind of editing, you can see that the information in the box will change to, like it was only 4 hours a day for one day, and now you can see that 20 hours is added because we have 5 days now in the assignment. We still have the option of editing the time and days for the assignment by only clicking on the assignment. For example, if the number of days are too much, or we only want to repeat it weekly, which is an easy option, we still have this option. But now I will skip this one. So here, let's say I want to separate these assignments by 2 days and 3 days. I only need to keep my mouse here and click on it. So this note about splitting the assignment pop up, and I want to split it, yes. And you can see now I have 2 assignments, not one. So let's say I want to make this assignment, the second part, repeated weekly. So I only need to click on the assignment and put the option of repeat weekly. And how many weeks I want to repeat this, let's say for 3 weeks, and I need to update. So here you can see that the second assignment is now repeated weekly for 3 weeks, let's say. Yeah, if I only shift the calendar, you see that now I have these 4 hours a day for this project, for this person in 3 weeks. So now let's say I want to add another person and assign it to the project. I need to again come here, and I don't have a predefined person, so I can add a new person. So here I have to insert the data related to the person I'm going to assign to this project. So let's say Sarah as the first name, and the last name, whatever format, Joe for example, and other things, some of them are optional, like the email. And here in the roles section, you can add more than even one role. Like if she's a designer, she's a manager, or she's other things, and we can even add different information to filter different teammates in different projects much easier. So we will see the functionality of this part later. Let me only add the designer role for her. Sorry, my spelling is not right. And as the capacity of the workload, I will say she can work until 40 hours a week, as the contract says, and the work days are from Monday to Friday by default. You can change it, or you can keep it like this. And you can even invite this person to sign in to have the access, and she can even edit her assignments or other things, but you can go on like this and save the person. After saving this new person, this window opens again to ask you the information related to the assignment of this person to this project. As you saw before, I can only save the assignment and edit it much easier here. So I will go to the Sara Formaggio section of the calendar view, and let's go to the last. Okay, this is the week we are present now. And okay, let's say I want her to work full load as 8 hours a day. As you can see, 100% of the working load of each day. I will update it, and I will make it for all the week, and I want it to be repeated for again 3 weeks, and I will say update. So as you can see, the information related to the assignment of Sara is updated in the calendar view, and I can move in front and back of the calendar view and see the assignment is added and updated as 8 hours a day, which means 40 hours a week for 3 weeks. So now that you have defined the project and you assigned the person in the project, we can see that what is the milestone. Milestone is any significant point on the project during the project development. For example, let's say at the end of the first week, we have a big meeting. I can come here and by clicking on it. So here in this field, I can write meeting with engineering department, and the date is written here, and you can save your milestone. And you can see the notification about the meeting is now visible in the calendar view. You can add different information like the completion date and the progress checkpoint of the project as milestone. As the next action, I'm going to tell you how you can shift the project timeline. It can be very useful if, for example, you need your teammates for other projects, and they cannot start as the 4th of May, and you want to postpone the project for the 11th of May. So you can use this action and shift the project timeline. Or for any other reason you decide to postpone the project starting point to the next week's or another specific day, you can use this. So for doing this, you have to go to the action section here. As you can see, by clicking on it, there is an option for shifting the timeline. So here in this window, I can add the information regarding the timeline shifting. So let's say instead of 4th of May, I want to start in the 2 weeks after, 18th of May, and I will click on shift timeline, and it will ask me again to confirm the data, so I will say yes. And here you can see that the assignments I already defined from 4th of May, they are shifted to the 18th of May. I can see them better here if I go. So nothing has been changed, only the starting point of the project is shifted for 2 weeks. So as you can see, this possibility of shifting the timeline is very helpful. For example, now we are in the coronavirus suspension period. So in lots of companies, different projects had to be postponed, and it is very easy to do so in forecast. Now I'm going to tell you about the time off section in the projects view of the schedule section. In the time off section, you can define the vacations, the national holidays. You can even define the time off related to only one specific person in the project assignment. And after doing so, you will see that if you assign the person in the time off period, you can see that it has a confliction note, so you should update the assignment or shift it to another day. So for defining the time off, we should come here and click on this, and we have to now specify the person we want to apply the time off. Let's say I want to first define a national holiday, so for all the companies I will choose everyone, and as I told you before, you only need to save this and you can edit it later. So let's say on the Thursday I want to put the time off here. It is a Thursday, 21st of May. So if you want to edit the information or add the optional note like the reason or other things, you can write it here. I will skip it, or if you want to add milestone, it's even possible in the time off section. So let's say, I don't know, we want to add time off 1, let's say. And now let's say you want to add another time off for a specific person, like Sarah. Again, you have the possibility to give the information here or edit it later, so I will edit it later. I want to give her a time off on the next week after 21st of May. Let's say I want to give her the time of 26th as the clinical appointment. So I will add the clinical appointment for her, and I will save it. And now you can see that this information is included here in the time of box as a clinical appointment for Sarah in the time of section. So now let me tell you about the conflicts that now are present in the calendar view. Now that I defined the two time of days in the calendar view, after assigning the projects to the team members in the project B, you can see that there are some conflicts that you can see by these red lines on the top of the assignment, which means that there is a confliction from two projects or time of two projects, so it depends. And you can see one is here because of the national holiday time of one, and the other one is only for Sarah because she has a clinical appointment here, and I gave her a time of day. So I'm going to fix it now. We have two possible ways. One is to add the working hours of Sarah on this day, which has the conflict with the time off, to another day, or move this assignment only this day to another day. So I will choose the second option and see what happens. So let's first separate this assignment date from the other ones by clicking here and here. Now it is possible for me to move it, and I will move it from 21st of May to the 24th of June. And for Sarah I will do the same. And now we can see that the conflict is solved. So the off day is set for everyone, and if I go further in time, you can see that now I don't have the confliction line, the red line on top of the assignment. But if you remember, I still have one confliction line here, and I'm going to solve it again with similar solution. So let's say again I split Sarah's assignment, and now I can move this 8 hours on 26th of May to another day which Sarah can work on, like let me go further, yeah, on 9th of June. So I will just drag it to the 9th of June, and now you can see that the confliction red line is gone. So let's check from beginning. Everything looks okay. So until now we have seen that how we can make a new project in Forecast, and add people in the project, and make and edit the assignments, and making and editing the time off. But there are still some other options in the schedule section and in the projects view. Which one of them is this option, target project hours drawer. If you click on it, it gives you the information of the future scheduled hours as total hours scheduled for a person, or as total in only one project. This information can be very useful, especially if we connect the forecast account to the harvest account, so we can have a better overview about the total project hours, and we can compare them much easier. So later that I'm going to show you some more projects which are already connected with Harvest. You can see that this information will be very helpful and more complete. So I'm going to do it before continuing to the team view of the schedule section, and I will show you a much more complete calendar view about different projects, and we can see some other information when we connect the Harvest account to the Forecast account. So let me first tell you how we can connect your Harvest account to the Forecast account. For doing this, you have to come to this settings section and click on it. And here you have some information that later I will cover some of them. But to connect your Harvest account to the Forecast account, you only need to click on this Connect to Harvest green box and choose the account. And here you see the list of the clients and the projects available on your Harvest account. But as you remember, I only added one sample client A and sample project A with the code of sample01. And by clicking import one client and one project here, you can see that your client and projects have been imported. So let's go back to the schedule section. And here you see that the client A, project A, has been added to our calendar view. And I can even expand it to see some information about the people in the project, which I cannot find here. However, you can see that there is a mark that shows you that this project is connected to Harvest. And by clicking on this, you will jump to the analysis page for this project. Yeah, as you can see now. But I will close this one for now, and by telling you this, I will close this forecast profile too and open it with more projects inside, so we can continue to the team view and see much more information, and can use the information that forecast is giving us in a better way. So here I opened my profile again with more project inside, as you can see, which some of them are samples by forecast itself that you can add to your profile or not. It depends on you, but I have some of them that I defined myself. So I'm going to explain you the rest of the points on this more complete profile. So now I can explain you better what happens when you connect the Harvest with a forecast. So if you remember this future scheduled hours section, which I opened it by only clicking on this clock, you can see that most of these projects are already connected to Harvest. And I have these numbers here, as you can see. When it is red, it means that if the project is based on the total project hours, you are surpassing the total project hours. If you want to check in a better way, you have only to click on this, and it will open you the project analysis page on the Harvest account. And you see that we have this notification that this project is linked to the forecast, and you can see that we are surpassing the total project hours, which is 144, and until now we track time on 160 hours almost, and we are 16 hours surpassing the project. So after here, we should take care that the new assignments we are making on the forecast should be enough only to finish the project as soon as possible. Okay, now I'm going to close the project analysis page on Harvest account, and I will continue on the forecast account. Okay, now let's open another linked project to Harvest, like this one. You see that there is a dashed line here that have a very important meaning. This dashed line means that all the hours that you assign to different team members of the project to make the progress in the project, and so it is anticipation of the project progress. However, these black lines here before today, it means the uh, hours that team members tracked during last days on the project. So as we continue, you later see that are you actually working through the plan to make the progress as you anticipated by the project assignments in the forecast, or how close at least you are for progressing your project. And let's scroll down a little bit. So there is some more information. One is this section that estimation of the time assignments to different team members, as you can see, and the actual track time and the delta of these two actual and estimate times. And we can close this project analysis again and continue with the forecast. And now that I described some information about the project's view in the schedule section, I think it's a good time to continue to the team view. And for doing so, you have to click on team. So by entering to the team view of the schedule section, forecast make the workload of your team visual. And here you can get some very important information like the availability of one of the team members, like Alessia, for example, during the days. And you can see that if the person is overbooked in some days, or she is open for some hours during some days, you can assign her with other projects to work on. And they call this calendar availability view of the team members in forecast as a heat map. This heat map has two kind of views. One is a daily availability view, which gives you some information about the available hours of the team members. And you can see that in some days they are working full capacity, in some days they have some open hours, and you have the possibility to assign them new tasks. And maybe in some of days they are overbooked that you have to take care of it. But if we go to the weekly capacity view of the heat map, here you can see the information regarding to how many percentage of the week the team member is free, and we can open new assignments for him. So we use his total capacity. And let's say I want to check Alessia's availability on different projects, so I open this, and you can see that Alessia is working on two projects during these weeks, and in some days she's assigned to the project practice 1 3 hours a day, and project sample project 2 4 hours a day. And here you can see that she's available in some days for more work, and you can assign her new projects from the project schedule section. However, if you like, you can even add the assignments here, as you can see, or extend the assignments as you defined before for other days. I'm going to assign 5th of May on the project practice 1, only 4 hours, and save it. And you can see that if I close here and go to the daily availability, you see that on the 5th of May that I defined the new assignment, she's overbooked because probably her working capacity is 7 hours a day, and now she's 8 hours if I'm right. Yes, 4 hours here and 4 hours here, so it will be 1 over boot hour. So I'm only by easily editing these 4 hours to 3 hours and updating it. You can see that now I have the full notification here, and in the daily availability she's full as the notification. However, still on this 4th of May she's 3 hours open, and on the 6th of May she's full again on the 7th and 8th of May, and 2 hours open on other days, and 1 overbooked hour is here on the 14th of May and 15th of May. Here, if I want to edit some information about Alessia, for example, the working capacity in each day, I can come here in the action toolbar here, and by clicking on edit, I can make the working capacity of the week from 35, for example, to 40, or even reduce it. It depends on our choice. So I will cancel it for now, and I'm going to tell you about adding placeholders to the projects. So let's say if we have a task that we are not sure still who is going to work on, or it can change regularly during the weeks or days, we can add placeholders. To add the placeholder, I have to click on this, and here I can add the placeholder name as, for example, designer, developer, marketing, purchasing, and depends which kind of placeholder I want to add to a specific project. So here I will add, for example, marketing, and as the roles which can help us later to filter the teammates and projects, I can add, let's say, meeting or sorry, or organizer, and I can add even other roles if I want to add here. It depends on me. For now, I will only save the placeholder, and if I scroll up, I will see the marketing as here, which has the role of meeting organizer. But before doing this, I already added another placeholder as a meeting organizer, so probably it's better for me to only delete this one. You have to type yo low, and we can get rid of it. So I have my placeholder, and I have the team members in different projects. I can expand by clicking on this, or close all of them like this, and it can be helpful if you want to access the details or not, like by clicking on this, or not clicking. So as the last step, I'm going to tell you how we can use this team view to filter the data based on people, different people, the name I mean, or as the name of the placeholder, or a different type of rule that you can see here. Imagine if you have lots of projects and lots of team members, it is very difficult to access different information, and analyzing it, it takes time. So it is much easier to filter them by different roles or placeholders and by people, and you can focus on them. To do so, you only have to type teams here. Some of them are already defined here. You only need to click, but you can write them here too. But let's say I write it here. I want to filter the team members by manager role, for example. I want to see all the managers. And now you can see that I have two managers for different projects I defined, and I can check their schedule now. Okay, so I can expand it and see the hours they are assigned to different projects, or I can close it. Or I want to filter again by the name of the team member. Alicia White, for example, she's only working on 7th and 8th of May. In the week from 4th to 2nd to 10th of May. And by telling you this, the other things about the filtering is not so difficult. As I told you before, only by clicking you get the options. So now you have the basic information to start working with forecast, and you can use it to schedule better your team and analyze your company's time. If you have more questions, you can go to the help section here, and there are some tips available, as you can see. And if you still have more questions, there is a possible way that you can contact the forecast help center and ask for a question. And after I told you this, I will finish the video here, and I hope you find this video at least a little bit helpful. Goodbye.